Okay, so we are live, everybody. So thank you for joining the show, everybody. That's you know, a little bit different of an atmosphere this evening because number one, it's going to be a solo show, so I don't have any guests. This is not something that happens very often, but when it does, it's kind of fun to get to enjoy sharing my thoughts and things like that I've really been thinking about and just want to talk about. So, um, guys, you are super important to me, and everybody now that's watching live on Instagram as well is going to see the same thing as on the regular show. So now it's kind of even. Uh, Usually Instagram gets the short end of the stick, but this evening everybody's going to get the same thing, just me talking. So I guess that's okay. Um, but one of the things that I love about doing some of these solo shows, like I said, is I get to share um, my thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and cover all the basics. Of course, if this is your first time watching us on the show, do us a favor. You can check us out on our YouTube channel and just go down on the link there below at www.youtube.com/the letter C/ made from scratch broadcast on YouTube. Do us a favor if you're watching there, or if you go by and visit and watch one of the shows or past episodes, hit the like and subscribe button. It will let you know whenever we schedule new lives, whenever we are live, or whenever we do drop new content on the channel. So do us a favor if you're watching on YouTube and hit the notification bell. It'll let you know all the goodies. So, of course, everywhere else, you can check us out now on all our other social media platforms at MFSB Live. So you can go to Twitter. We are there at MFSB Live, on Instagram as well, so you can catch us there. On Facebook as well, you can go to our Facebook page at MFSB Live and hit the like button there. It'll do the same thing as on YouTube. It will give you notifications, scheduled videos, the whole 9 yards. So if you're watching on Facebook, thank you so much as well. And of course, we're streaming on Twitch, and you can find us there. Same name at MFSB Live. So we're trying to streamline the process and make it a little bit easier for everybody else. So thank you guys so much. I already have guests commenting. Hello, Jennifer. Um, I gotta give much love to everybody who follows along. Man, you guys, again, you're the lifeblood, like I say, of what I do. And I try to, with what I do on social media, what I share in my life and everything else, I try to be as open, as honest, and bleed who I am out into the world. So everybody that does connect and everybody that shares and is part of this community that I'm building, all the gratitude in the world. And big shout out to my friend Russ Johns, because again, a lot of these people, a lot of these things that I've learned, he helped me cultivate. And even Adam Posner, guys, excuse me, Adam, I'm sorry about that. If you're not connected to Adam as well, check out the podcast live and his podcast as well. He's got big things popping going on. So, man, again, this everybody that connects around here in this world of social media that we do, sometimes it's hard to not be yourself sometimes, because you're afraid that what people might think or judgment. So I take a different approach. I try to be whoever I am, blood, sweat, tears, all over my social media. I live passionately, I write passionately, and I share my life passionately with everybody. So, everybody that connects and all the people who've shown me support, you guys make what I do, my job, so much easier. Just because I know that there's people there who really love and support and really care about me in the world. And that's a good feeling to have sometimes, to reach out when you need a friend. And that's one of the best things about my journey that I've learned especially on LinkedIn. I shared a post that I had wrote today that I wrote 6 months ago. This is before I knew about live streaming, before I knew about what it was to sit behind a camera and talk. I knew none of this. I mean, this was all strange to me. never in my wildest dreams would I ever be thinking about where I'm about to cross now, where I'm about on Friday. I will have completed 100 official episodes that I count, and of doing live streams. So it's again, it's such a far cry from where I thought I would be. So when I went back and rewrote and reread that article, and a big shout out to Obi Yordi. He's the one that kind of reached out to me today out of all days and out of the blue. He just says, I love this article. You should go back and reread it and rewrite it. And so I had planned to write something else. And that's one of the plans that I do, is write an article every day now on LinkedIn. And that was one of the things I was thinking about, was writing. And then when I saw that post, it was like, okay, it was supposed to happen that way. So I went back and I reread, and there's nothing more true than reading your own words and trusting what you say. And Sarah, thank you so much. You've been such a help these last couple of days. You too, Kenneth. Mr. Dunner, you're always welcome. You're always welcome on this show anytime. You're true people. So again, when I wrote the article, I was at a different place in my life, but I knew I wanted to make a journey. I knew I wanted to step out of what I was normal doing. So what a way to do it is to start writing on LinkedIn. And I wrote a few articles, and really started engaging with folks. And it took me in a whole different direction than what I had planned. I've met two really wonderful people in my life through that platform, in different times, and different capacities, and I never expected that. And even now, to this point, where people who are part of what I do and what I share and have come on board, and hopefully they feel comfortable, they've added so much. I always preach about adding value to their lives. I never realized that it worked the other way around. They've added so much value in my life, and realizing so many things about myself. And yeah, I've had to take a really hard look at a lot of things, in my life. A lot of personal issues that I had to work out. Life hasn't been easy, but neither is growth. Growth is never easy as well. Because sometimes that's the good and the bad of growth, right? Of discovering yourself. You see the good things, all the wonderful things that you're learning and you do, and then you see the things that are some of your personal issues, your insecurities that you got to deal with. And those are always tough to look at yourself in the mirror and realize them, and it's pretty hard sometimes to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, that's me. Truth be told, yeah, that's me. I was, it's a different way of accepting the things in life that you have to change, is by looking at and there's nothing wrong with it, with dealing with the bad things. That's how you grow. I mean, how do you know? My fear of failure, my fear of abandonment. There's so many things. My fear of my control issues. I know I have to deal with these things, because again, if I want to grow as a person and grow with what I want to do in the background and everybody else, these is issues that I have to address. So that's part of what I wrote about, was looking at myself in the mirror and go, holy crap, this is me. But then the good thing happened, where everybody reached out. And that's when I knew I'm going to be all right, because the impact that I've made in other people's lives are now coming around to impact mine. And it was it was such a wonderful feeling to read and know, and people still continue to reach out. So for every single one of you that has, man, thank you. Continued thank you. Thank you for everything, every kind word, helping me with looking inside and saying, okay, it's going to be okay. It's cool to be this way a little bit, to take these baby steps and work in the right direction. So that's why I'm really looking forward to moving to the next stage. I'm 2 days away from, like I said, of completing 100 episodes officially, and then at that point, it's sit down time to reevaluate, put things together, and then see where to go to the next level. And there is going to be a next level for the show. There's going to be a next level for so many things. I mean, it's been wonderful that I've had so many people reach out and want to guest host, right? That's a whole different way of doing this, and it's another way of giving people an opportunity to voice themselves. And there's one right there. David's been on here. He's guest hosted. Wendy Gahula, and of course Megan Regman. She's been a guest host, and they see what it's like to come on here and to do this. I try to make it for fun and the interaction, and hopefully they get the same thrill out of it that I do, the same sort of high that you get to be there and talk with people, and people are watching, and it takes you out of your comfort zone a lot. Like I said, sitting down at a table for the first time back in February and talking in the dark room with the light and the camera and a microphone, and then figuring out what I wanted to say, how I would say it. It was the most frightening thing that I had ever done to that point in my life. And then moving forward and repetition and getting better at it and talking every day and doing this every day, it's now a part of the structure of what I love to do with life. I mean, I get so much thrill out of learning from everybody else. The people who have come into my life and who are in the life and in the background, these people, my friends, I call them my friends. You've come on the show before. I don't call you guest anymore. I call you a friend, right? And you reach out to those friends and you keep them in contact and you talk to them and you keep nurturing that relationship because it means something to you. It means something to me to have these people around. And yes, it's hard to keep up with all, 91 guests that I've had, but I try to do it. Every now and then I'll reach out of the blue and I'll talk to somebody and they're always glad to hear from me. I'm glad to hear from them because it's not just about being a part of a guest. It's almost feeling like building this up is almost like a family. That's how important a lot of these people become. Because again, they bring a different aspect to what a regular live show is, because most people have a live show and it's usually talking about a certain thing or certain way of learning, or it's geared towards business tips, or that's great. That's everybody's, that's what you work on and that's what you're passionate about. I am all for it. Do it. I support all kind of people who live stream. Just my show's a little bit different because it's about the personal aspect of who we are as people. And I hope that's what I bring every day. I try to, again, that's why I say I concentrate, try to bring the person who's not on the job from 8 to 5. It's from the person that's there from 5 until 8 in the morning that I like. That personal person. That's the person that I want to know about, get inside their head, because I think that's the person who's more interesting. Not that your job's not interesting, not that what you teach is interesting, but who you are as a person. Because I think that's how we really learn a lot of value about people. You know, people talk about wearing masks and doing things. It's so much different whenever you get to meet somebody who's, when, you know, it's always funny, like when you go to, well, we can't do this now, but of course when there would be people would have happy hour meetings or someone else, and you get to meet somebody off the clock. It's really interesting and intriguing to learn about these people, because then you get to learn about who they are, what they're passionate about, what are certain things that you would have never figured this person to be. I mean, even now, my guest host, Wendy, she's been on here twice. Me and Wendy have connected, and we're really good friends. Last time that she was here, I learned something about her. She wants to learn how to drift. So if you don't know what drifting is, of course, go back and watch Fast and the Furious. Tokyo Drift, and watch what they do. Insane. And she's the most gentle, kind-hearted woman that I've met. So sweet. She's so personable. I love Wendy. She's so super awesome. And to learn that thing about her, that she wants to learn how to drift, that was a fun fact. And I love those, because then you get to see the person, you get to realize who they are. And that's how we connect. So like, there's so many people here, like I said, they come on here and they share all the time. Because again, they feel like family. And I gotta include Russ in this, because Russ was one of the main people where I started learning a lot about these people, a lot about these. So there's another one, right? And I know it says at the end of the day, you don't remember us for our title, but you remember her character. Yes. Your character, that's a good way to put it. That's what I want to learn about you. Not your job. Your job doesn't define you. Your profession doesn't define you. Who you wake up are and who you go to bed at, that's who defines you. That's what defines you as a person. So those are the people that interest me. And it's funny that when I invite people on the show and they say, well, do I have to talk about my work? No, I don't want to hear it. I want you to talk about whatever you feel comfortable talking about. But if you want to focus on a different part of your life, let's go for it. And not the fact that it's not that you don't, that your job's not interesting, but it's interesting to learn about what built you up. What was your character? What was the story that got you through there? Those are the things that, again, interest me. Like we were talking to like last night's guest, Jason Cutter. It's cool that what he's doing, but I love the fact that he was a writer, number one, and he's really putting out writing, because I love the creative aspect of people and in the process and the thought process that goes behind it. And it also that he had a background that was different than what he was doing. He was a marine biologist, so that's a different aspect of when you talk to somebody. When you go, hey, by the way, I was this or I was that before then. Those are they might seem like small, minute details, but to me, I think that's what's interesting, is the small details in life. Those are the things that you really catch on and take in about somebody. So this is what I love about having this platform and sharing it with you guys, and just being the opportunity to be me. Come on here and talk about my life and talk about who I share things and what I'm passionate about. Everybody has a show. Everybody can have a podcast. Everybody can have a live stream. I'm all for that, because I think it adds value to somebody else's life. I may not be able to reach out to touch somebody, but somebody else will. Somebody else's show. That's what you need sometimes. That instinct, that connection, the thing that's gonna drive somebody to hear that and go, wow, that's quote unquote that's my life. You feel it. I mean, and sometimes I get those guests on here where I just go, wow, I'm pumped because I can almost feel like their passion is pulsating through the video screen. I've had a couple. Let's see. Just recently, Matt Gagnon, he was on here. Next level guy. Next level. Michelle Mraz, another one. She was a firecracker. She got me hyped up. So you get those people in there, and those are the people that when I get those people, I love to ride the wave of whatever energy they got, because they're sharing it with everybody, and I know everybody watching feels the same way. Lets the hair stand up on the back of your neck. That's how much it connects. You feel. So when I get those opportunities to have those people on it, I never know when I'm going to get them, but when I do, they're so fun because it's real people. It's not. If you can feel when it's real, when it's authentic, and then when you have somebody that it's a hard crafted message to get through. Not that those don't have their place, but I like the people. I like it whenever I get the real authentic person, the character. That's what enjoy me as a host. What I enjoy digging into. Learning their wisdom, learning their experiences, learning whatever they want to share with me. Man, I love to be a sponge, because again, it adds so much to my own life. I never expected to have, I never expected these things to be such a heavy factor in now how I'm going to craft my future. Again, go read the article that I posted on LinkedIn today. Not an inclination of talking about doing a podcast, nothing. I just want to, at that point, I said, you know what, I wanted to write. And then when I started writing at the beginning of the year, I also said, you know what, I would like to create a forum to share my writings. So that's why I initially thought podcast, right? So that's where I put let me go researching podcast, right? And then one day I got on LinkedIn, and there was this gentleman with a bald head, glasses, and a long white beard. And I started watching his show. And I was really interested in it because it was somebody else on the show who I knew. His name is Steve Sullivan. I had followed Steve for a while because Steve was one of the first people to reach out to me on LinkedIn and kind of told me to tell my story. So when I saw those two gentlemen, I was like, wow, that's such a great conversation. And at that point, I said, you know what, I started watching a few more episodes, started getting engaging in the community there, that people that were his regulars. And then I had the courage to say, let me reach out to him because I love what he's doing. I would like to try my hand at that. Not knowing what he said, he could have been one of those people that said, you know what, hey kid, go research it on YouTube or whatever, or it could have been one of those people, hey, sign up for my class, my mastermind, and it will help you the 5 tips and tools to get you doing a live stream. He could have done all that, but I said, you know what, he gave me a conversation. He was real, authentic, walked me through a lot of things, told me a lot of things, and gave me some of the best advice. So from that point on, I took it upon the mantle and said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to really go for it and really put myself on a live stream. And from that point on, it pushed me to a whole nother level. Yeah, I still listen to Howard Stern. Of course, Howard Stern is he is the pinnacle when it comes to interviewers. I mean, you may not agree with what he talks about, but see how he interviews people. See how he draws people out. You want to learn how to interview? Go watch a couple of his shows. That's what I did. And I got entertainment out of it as well. But the way he reaches to people, the way he connects, that was always so interesting to me. So it was always fun to do that. And again, it was, again, it's learning the craft of doing interviews and learning how to even put together a whole live stream, do all this together. It was a process. And I ain't gonna lie, I struggled the first month trying to figure this out, going, what the heck did I get myself into? Can I really do this? I mean, at the end of the month in March, I said, can I continue to do this at this pace? I really questioned myself. Because at that point I was saying, you know what, if I give up now, I've lost everything that I did the last month. So I stuck with it. I kept going. Even though not knowing what would come, not knowing about COVID, and not knowing that I would have opportunity to get guests on, because it was hard for me because a lot of people were unfamiliar with who I was. They didn't know about me. They just knew I was some kid who was trying to go out there and do interviews. And a lot of the times, some of the answers were, hey, look, I got a really busy schedule. I would love to think about it, doing it, but contact me at a later date. And then COVID-19 comes. Bam, right in the middle of what I was trying to do. And all of a sudden, the people who weren't available now were at home, had time to do things, and I started getting a lot more yeses. Have you had him on as a guest? Yes, I've had Russ on as a guest. Episode number 49. Not only do I remember my people, I try to remember by their number. So yeah, if you think I might be off, go check it out. Russ Johns, episode 49. Great guy. I call him my mentor, and he's still kicking it out there. I mean, I'm about to be at 100, so he's going to be close to 200. That's how many he's done. So that tells you how far he's been in the game. And, again, he was the gold standard when I started, and how to do this and how to figure this out. And even though, thank you, David. Hope dinner's well, my friend. Stay safe, stay blessed. But that was one of the things that was such a shocking thing for me to learn was the fact that these people that I had connected with on LinkedIn were real, genuine, authentic people. I mean, I had been on other social media platforms. I'd reached out to people on Facebook before, and unless somebody was a friend or something like that, I never got any kind of traction or request or anything like that. Before I even did a live stream, I would always try to ask people to do written interviews, right? I wanted to write. So I would send people kind of a little request. Hey, I want to write something about you. I want to learn something about this. Would you be interested in doing an interview? And of course, a lot of people were like, well, no, not really. So it was hard sledding because all I had was a blog, and sometimes not really a well-established blog. It was kind of like this when I started doing that blog, just me writing every day, putting down my thoughts, sharing them out on really just on Facebook. I was, and Blogger and a few other sites. But other than that, it was just me writing every day, and but of course, it's what I wanted to do, was write. So when I moved over to LinkedIn, because somebody had mentioned it to me, I went and of course I was like everybody else. I had it, but it was just like work media sort of. I mean, it was just a space that I thought was just for work related platform. That's what I thought it was, just like everybody else. I think the only other reason I would go on there was there was a gentleman named Ed Davidson who would put like all these safety videos, really good stuff, and I would watch it. Um, and other than that, I think there was one other person. I don't think she's on the platform anymore, but I can. She was like the first person that I really had a hello, how are you doing conversation with. Her name was Amber P. She had done a lot of videos on there. I don't know what happened. I think something happened with her. She left social media altogether, but she was like one of the real. She was like the first person that I ever had said any words to on that on LinkedIn. So my experiences with it where it wasn't anything at all, and then I got back on it, and because somebody had mentioned it, and I saw it was more of a social media platform at that point. I go, wow, look, there's people interacting. There's the timelines, and this is pretty cool. So I got back on there and started connecting with folks. And I met this person right here. So this guy is like one of my ride or dies, but we had an instant connection, me and him. I think we had talked at that point, and same sort of deal, kind of like, wow, fired me up. I wanted to really, I really wanted to push myself on the platform and started concentrating and doing things. And, again, whenever I had thought about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, I was kind of like a lot of people. I just didn't have a direction, but I knew I had to start doing something. So I started posting my videos on LinkedIn, right? I told the story before. Awkward as hell. Didn't know what to say. Didn't know how to talk into a camera. Didn't know how to do a lot of things. But it's like anything. You keep practicing, you learn. You gotta keep going over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually you get better. Eventually you get better at it, and it just takes practice. And every day that I practice more and more. I always take notes. That's why I tell everybody, this is what I have my notebook here next to me, so I can write in it. So I can take down notes of either what I learned or how I learned, or what made this a bad interview, or what made this a good interview, or what made me felt I needed to work on something. So that was part of why I journal so much, why I keep the notes, and why I wanted these things. Because again, it was a learning tool for me. If I was going to get better, I needed to learn how to teach myself how to interview, teach myself how to interact with people, how to interact with guests, how to do so many different things. So if I can learn how to do this, and I promise you, I had no skills before when it came to doing like really one-on-one interviews and live interviews with people. I knew nothing. So when I bring other people on, it's a thrill to see them do it for me, because it takes me back to those first few episodes, those first few moments of nervousness, but you feel different afterwards. Kind of feels like an accomplishment, like you really were like, oh, wow, this was really fun, this was really great, and this is why the people who I had on, they want to come back. They're like, yeah, I would love to come back on. I would love to have this guest on. I would love to do this. Because it gets to that point where you start feeling comfortable talking. Once you get past the whole camera thing, it's just like you having a conversation with a friend across the table. And I love those. I love those conversations. I love meeting these people, because again, I never know when I'm going to really draw somebody out and get a real connection with folks. again, I've had guests on now that I'm really, really closely connected with them. I mean, I'm about to take on one of them to be my life coach. So if you don't know, I'm going to start working with Miss Carol Campos. She, I just had a connection with her. And a lot of it stemmed from conversations that we had off camera, and it always felt warm and endearing. And that's what I looked for. So yeah, so like, even like she's saying, like Bella was a different, I Bella was something different, to a whole nother level, because she took us to emotional heights that I had never felt before. So that was a whole nother thing. But again, sweet woman, beautiful soul. So if you don't know who Bella Marciano is, please go watch the episode. I felt one of my best, because it brought so much real out of me. It really that shook me to a core for a lot of things. So having her be a part of the family now and being part of the community of what we do and what we share and how we are as we interact with each other, it's been one of the best things. I mean, and even like David, David broke out of his shell. David was somebody who was wanted to tell a story, but was unsure of how or why or how to do that, how to get it there, how to talk, and how to become, quote unquote, David Mumford. So yeah, it took a lot. It took a lot for him, and it took a lot of courage to do that. And that's why I said this platform, this forum is open to anyone who wants to take the mantle. Part of me learning how to let go of control is to let go of a lot of things. And I've always talked about sharing it. This is, so if you want to have a conversation with somebody, you want to bring a guest on, I promise you no other show does this. I promise you no other show would even attempt to do what I'm doing. No other show, hey, they say, well, you're the personal branding and okay, cool. Go personal brand somewhere else. Yes, this is a brand name, but it's not what it is. I love to equate what I do to kind of like the Tonight Show, right? Maybe one day I won't be sitting behind this chair, but somebody else will. Not that I don't want to. I love it. It's fun. But again, my heart belongs with my pen. And that's been part of me since I was very young. And it still draws me. If there's anything that I'm disappointed in, is I haven't pushed that a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But it's why I'm changing a lot of things, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, so I can. Because to me, sitting down and writing is me getting to pour my soul out into the world. Not that this doesn't; it's just not to the same effect to me. And I love the fact that this again, this forum, this platform, whatever you want to call it, has been a part of my growth process. And getting to grow up and develop in front of all you guys has been an honor. It's been an honor to get to share that. So I tell everybody all the gratitude in the world for you guys taking the time out of your evenings to come on here and comment and be part of the show and say what you want to say. And even some of you come on here and been part of it. Again, what other show does that? You tell me. None of them do. None of them will. That's why I'm building something different here. Something that will go on beyond me. Yes, it's funny that I have control issues, but it did take a lot to create this. So it's going to be hard to let go of it. It's just like me letting go of my words. I know I have to. If I want to put it out into the world, I know I'm going to have to let that go. And once I do, it's no longer mine. So the things that I hold dear and the things that I don't want to share, I keep to myself. Those will never see the light of day. Those will be only for my kids once I'm no longer on this earth. And if they share out in the world, okay, cool. That means they wanted to share a part of their dad or whatever they want to do. But for me, that's at that point, it won't matter to me. But the things that I hold personally dear, I keep to myself, and nobody sees those. Because I think we all have a part of us that want that. It's great to share yourself with the world, but there's a part of you that you always want to keep because you cherish what it was to be that, to create that, to get to that point. Everything else, I'm open to sharing. Everything else. I love people. I love helping people. I love being in the world and giving the people the opportunity. That's what I'll spend the rest of my life doing. That's what this journey has helped me realize, is that is what is the calling. And before, like I said, I had an intention of what I wanted to do with sitting down and talking, but it didn't formulate right away what I was supposed to be. I've kind of crafted a little by little into this person, and am still crafting. So it might be 200 episodes before 300. I don't know. I don't have a definite thing. That's why at 100, I'm going to reevaluate, sit down again. What's the next goal? Reaching 100 was the first goal. Small milestone. What's the next one? Where do we go from here, guys? Because you guys are going to be part of it. Everybody here, in some way, shape, or form, is and continues to be part of what's been created. And I hope that that's what we do with each other in this community, is lift each other up. I see that a lot. You don't know how heartwarming that is to feel that when I see somebody else has connected with somebody who's in our circle and has lifted up their spirits and taken them and made them feel the world, because you guys do this for me. If you do it for me, I know you do it for each other, and that's the that's the beautiful part of it all. It's the definition of what a family can become. We don't have to all come from the same family to come. From the same backgrounds, the same everything to become a family. It is who we are and what we're becoming, and that's been, a big part of it. So all you guys, and you're always welcome here. Anytime you feel you want to come over here and be part of the show going forward. I'm taking on 2 co-hosts. I will go into further detail on this on Friday's show. But just so you know, I am taking on 2 other people. 2 of my best friends. And I really want to grow as a team with each other, and it's a hard fact to know that I'll be able to do this as long as I let this thing grow. So yes, guys, you guys are so wonderful. So let me go ahead and start about the plans for the 100th show. I'll kind of let a little bit of the cat out of the bag. So on episode 20, which happened on March 23rd, I had a lovely, beautiful, heart-centered woman by the name of Sherry St. Marie on the show. And we had a really good conversation. We connected long before she came on, and it was always great messages, great how we connected and back and forth. So when she came on the show, we kind of broached the subject of what the plans were, what was I going to do going forward, and not knowing what it was, I said, well, I said, I don't know. I really don't have plans how far this can go. I said, I'm just planning to go to the end of March, and then I'll reevaluate whether I want to continue to do this. And she kind of said, well, you need to be doing this. This is people want this. People need this. You need to do, you need to keep pushing. So we picked out a number. So let's do 100 episodes. And I said, okay, I will do 100 episodes if you promise to come back. So we made that promise on that episode, like again, March 23rd, I believe it was, episode 20. And guess what? Friday, it'll come to fruition. 100 shows. So, that's the whole best part about it is once that's going to happen, I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be emotional that day. I really am, because I would have reached a goal, and not that I haven't done goals before in the past, but never one that I had thought so lofty of. I had never thought of saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to reach this goal and knock it out of the park. I wasn't that person. I just wasn't. I didn't have the tools. I didn't know how to. I was always, I would always drag myself to the very last minute to try to finish something. And so I never reached the goal. I never accomplished a lot of things. So when my dear friend taught me how to refocus myself and learn how to put out my SMART goals and put things together and make a plan and formulate with it, it accelerated my growth a lot. It helped me tremendously. I use it now constantly. It helps me put down what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, what I need to get done so I can reach goals and really challenge myself. So that has been a very interesting, life-changing thing that, again, I found on connection on LinkedIn. Wow, what a platform. People still don't believe it, but if they're not connected on there, you should be. So it's been the best experience for me. So Friday evening, she'll be back on the show for episode 100. Right? It'll be an hour and a half show, I believe I'm going to do. I will be bringing on my mentor, Mr. Johns, because again, he's been as crucial as some of these other people in how I've become this guy. Because before having all these gifts, I was not this guy. I was something else. Believe me. Yes, I was an extrovert. Yes, I could talk to people, but I was camera shy. Go figure that, right? I was camera shy. it was not my thing. But again, that's the whole theme of what this whole year has been for me is challenge, 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 challenge. I mean, I've taken on going and running again. I'm taking running because I want to run a marathon. How insane is that? So I'm training now because, again, who knows how long COVID's going to last and when is the next time I'm going to get the opportunity, but I want to be ready if I do. So I'm going back out running in the morning. I get up at 3:45 and I go run. Feels good. Clears my mind. Does a lot of things for me. I love it. Didn't love it as much as when I was younger doing it because I think I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was trying to do it to keep in shape, to catch pretty girls' eyes. Now I don't care about that. I do this for me and my health and changing my perspective and what I want to do with life. So yes, it is a different reason why I run now, and I get so much more out of it. So that's another challenge. And then I want to get on stage, of course, and I told everybody to public speak. I want to be able to get on stage and talk. Lofty goals. Lofty goals. But I got to throw them out there. Doing 100 episodes was a lofty goal for me 80 episodes ago. Now I'm about to hit it. So throwing lofty goals out there doesn't seem like a big thing anymore. It seems like I should be doing it. So yeah, and there's a man right there. That man right there. If you're not connected, he's going to be a guest host as well. So if you are not connected with Steve Sullivan, do yourself a favor. One of the most heartwarming gentlemen I've ever met. Again, he goes, thank you, David, for stopping by as always, brother. You're incredible. Good talking to you. But yeah, he was big time in my development. Still is. You know, called me out on the air one night when I actually had him on the live and made me think about a lot of things that started a whole nother thing that I had to really address in my life. So when you have those kind of people around you, consider yourself lucky and blessed, because I have. Just like Sarah, just like Steve, like David, Mr. Pollock, Mr. Padurano, my friend Oliver, everybody, Future, Jennifer, Jason, all you guys, man. You guys are, you make this such an important mission. And now I'm ready to see what the next step will be going forward, how much fun we're all going to have together. Because we will be together, guys. Know this. It's part of this group now. It's part of the community, guys. You guys are we had a great conversation, Steve. I look forward to having you on, you and Miss Karen Markle. You guys are amazing. So they do a whole lot of they do talks as well. I got to participate in the first one, and hopefully I get to do it again, time permitting. But it was incredible. I loved that conversation, man. It was great. I got to meet people that I hadn't had the opportunity to meet, like Karen Cooper was there. I think Rob Howes was there. Who else? There was, and I saw her earlier. I know she was here. Ah, yes. Yes. Falguni, yes. She was there as well. Beautiful people, beautiful time. And there's so many people like that in the world. And it's incredible. Incredible that you guys are part of this also. Again, in from my heart to yours, guys, thank you so much. I close my eyes because I have to center myself before I say the things that I want to say, because it means a lot. So if you see me do that, that's what I'm doing, so that I try not to get super emotional. But again, guys, thank you always. And I sometimes I just get all. Believe it or not, I do get a loss for words sometimes, trying to think about what I want to say and how I want to say it. So, you guys help me take my breath away. I get, I don't know how else to put it. So, and it is, and these are so much fun. That's why when I get the rare opportunity to talk and really feel like I'm conversating with you guys more than I'm talking with a guest. I love these. They fill me with all the warmth and heart and love, and know that you guys matter. So, thank you again, guys, all of you. This means the world. You mean the world to me. And before I get out of here, let me go ahead and give a big shout out to tomorrow's guest. Her name's Irina Serternina, and she is a health and wellness specialist. We're going to broach that subject again because I think it's an important topic, and it's something that I'm paying attention to very much with my own health. And, hopefully you guys will take some value out of this. So we're going to have a good conversation tomorrow in the evening. And then, of course, Friday night, 7:00 will be 100th episode with my guest, Sherry St. Marie, Mr. Russ Johns, and then I will be having my other co-host come on here, and I will officially make an announcement. So thank you guys so much for joining the show this evening. Such a heart-formed conversation that I really needed to get out there. So I'm going to start ending the show with this saying, because I'm taking it from Mr. Greg Ingalls, who was on the roundtable the other night, and I loved it so much. That's how much it made me think about. So it is: live today, love tomorrow, unite forever. How beautiful is that? And I think that's a great send-off to have to people. Live today, love tomorrow, unite forever. So thank you again, guys, so much. I will be back tomorrow evening, 7:00 Central Standard Time. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, everybody. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Bye-bye.